Introduction to safety. Safety is our #1 priority. OSHA and the IWCA have developed with the American National Standards Institute the I-14.1 window cleaning standard in an effort to ensure standard safety rules regarding window cleaning in the United States. At our company, it is important that everyone understands and follows these safety rules daily to avoid any accidents or injuries that could otherwise have been avoided through the proper planning and understanding of safe practices.
Duties of our company are to provide window cleaning and safety equipment which meets all regulator standards and regularly inspect and maintain that equipment. To ensure that all services are performed according to the current regulations and laws. To maintain a valid safety program, including documented training, retraining, and related safety information. To prohibit all window cleaning operations when adverse conditions may affect safety of workers, public, or property. Duties of you, the employee, are to follow all guidelines set forth by the employer, to become proficient in the use of all window cleaning and safety equipment expected to operate, to attend all safety and training programs, to use all equipment for its intended purpose only, and to report damaged equipment immediately.
Any individual performing work in an unsafe manner outside of these standards should be corrected immediately.
It is the supervisor who is ultimately responsible to ensure that each job is being performed in a safe manner and that all crew members understand safe practices while on the job. These practices should be discussed at a daily toolbox meeting. Planning ahead is the single biggest factor contributing to a safe working environment. Get into the habit of assessing your job site by understanding the factors that influence safety, the 3 E's of safety.
1. Environment, or the work areas that need to be assessed for hazards and plans to minimize that risk. 2. Equipment, or the tools which must be matched to the task and maintained properly. And finally, 3. Employees, who must be trained properly how to do a job right and assigned tasks that they are capable of.
Failure to follow these guidelines could result in serious repercussions, including serious injury or death of either an employee or a bystander, damage to property, and situations resulting in serious fines. Remember, the customer and the public safety is important to us. Always think in terms of the service and the experience that you're providing to the customer and the public to avoid any lapses in judgment. If in doubt, always ask your supervisor. Most importantly, be aware of your surroundings. Window cleaning do's and don'ts. Be aware of your equipment. Buckets, ladders, poles, hoses, etc. in walkways are hazardous. Continually monitor your area to ensure hazards are minimized. Simply posting equipment against the wall versus in the middle of the walkway is an easy solution. Use cones or barriers where needed. Always minimize blocking entrances. Use caution signs or barriers when cleaning in heavy pedestrian areas, especially when working above. Never leave a pole or a ladder leaning against a wall unattended.
Ready to go to lunch?
Oh yeah.
They can fall over. If you must, lay them on the ground where they are out of the way and do not present a tripping hazard. Extension poles can create hazards as well. Keep them 10 feet away from power lines. Ensure tools do not fall off when you're using them, and use the shortest length possible for the best control. Always be aware of what is behind you. Clean up any excess water on floors and interior surfaces immediately for the safety of customers and the public. Neon signs are high voltage devices. Turn off the electricity at the source rather than at the sign. Bleach and ammonia must never be mixed. Understand MSDS of chemicals you use. If ladders are used, attend a ladder safety course. Do not assume that existing knowledge is sufficient. Make sure all equipment is in good and serviceable condition. Reward employees for safe work habits. Be aware of your surroundings. Always be thinking of safety.
Working at height and fall protection.
Fall protection is required whenever working within 6 feet of a fall hazard of 4 feet or more. If you are in doubt of what constitutes a fall hazard or what the proper fall protection requirements are, ask your supervisor. Fall protection is required whenever working on a roof, working on a ladder at a height of 25 feet or more, or working in an aerial man lift. Fall protection is divided into 4 different types. Perimeter guarding, a 42 to 70 inch tall wall or barrier that is capable of supporting 200 pounds of lateral force at the top. Fall arrest, components that stop the fall after the fall has occurred and limit the shock of that fall. Fall restraint, Systems that protect the workers using a dog on a leash method and prevents the worker from falling. A warning line system, a temporary barrier that keeps people at least 10 foot away from the fall hazard. Ladder safety. More accidents occur with ladders than any other piece of equipment. Those accidents are almost always attributed to the misuse of that equipment or poor judgment by the individual. Ladders do not afford fall protection to the user. Ensuring employees are trained to the use and the care of these ladders before they are permitted is very important. Training includes, but is not limited to, manufacturer's instructions, inspection, correct selection of ladder, proper assembly and disassembly, carrying, moving, climbing, and a full understanding of safe working conditions, considering as a minimum fatigue, slippery, wet surfaces, and the effects of wind. Use ladders that are approved and only for their intended purpose. We do not use ladders at a height of 45 foot or more. Continually inspect ladders before and after each use. Damaged or excessively worn ladders should be reported immediately. Tag ladders and remove from service until repaired. Store ladders properly to prevent damage. Double check when securing the vehicles. Ladder feet are up and not rubbing against anything. Minimize ladders hanging off the rear of the truck. If the ladder hangs from the rear more than 3 feet, it must be red flagged. Use ladder standoffs. The law requires the use of standoffs working at a vertical height of 35 foot or more. Always use the 4-to-1 ratio. The base of the ladder should be 1 foot away from the base of the building for every 4 feet in vertical height. When using tall ladders or working on uneven surfaces, a person should stand at the base of the ladder and hold it with both hands while climbing and working from it. The law requires this buddy system when a ladder is over 37 feet long. It's a good idea to have help carrying the ladder in these situations. Visually inspect ladder work areas. Plan to ensure terrain, building features, window ledges, frames, entranceways, and landscaping will not impair safety. These areas should be noted in the plan of service. When cleaning windows on a sloping sidewalk, hillside, or otherwise, work from the low side to the high side. This will reduce the chance of slipping as a result of clean water accumulated at the feet of your ladder. All ladders must be leveled before climbing with an approved or certified device. The top portion of the ladder must be set securely against the building to ensure the bottom will remain stable. Ladders must not extend less than 36 inches past the point where it is supported when accessing a roof. The base of the ladder must be secured when using it on a slick surface. Ladders should not be used on extreme angles or slants. Ladders should not be placed on unstable surfaces to gain more height. Ladders should not be placed in front of doors unless the door is blocked open, locked, or guarded. Use extreme caution when using ladders around electrical lines.
No ladder touching the power lines could shock or kill you.
A 10-foot safe zone is key. When ascending or descending, the user shall face the ladder. When working from a ladder, the center of the torso shall not extend past either side of the rail of the ladder. Overreaching is prohibited. The top rung of any ladder should not be used for support. Ladder work should be discontinued when wind speeds or weather conditions affect the safety of the worker or the public. Whenever performing ladder or pole work on or around public areas, proper danger signs and barricades should be in place. Correctly setting up and carrying an extension ladder. Stand up a ladder by yourself only if you are confident that you can handle that ladder. Standing the ladder up. Lay the ladder on the ground at the point on the building where it will be erected. Make sure the base section of the ladder is up and the extension fly is on the ground. Block the ladder using the building, or you can have a coworker stand at the foot of the ladder with his feet on the bottom rung so it doesn't slide out. Take special care not to crimp or damage the rubber feet. With your legs, lift the top section of the ladder using both hands to reach your highest point. Working hand over hand, push the ladder toward the building until it is raised to a point where it can be rested against the building. Lift the base of the ladder and move it away from the building to a point no further than 1/4 the height of the ladder from the building. Extend the ladder using the pre-attached rope and pulley system, making sure the ladder locks correctly into place before climbing. When carrying the ladder, you can use 3 methods: horizontal, buddy, or self-carry. The horizontal is quite easy. With the ladder laying horizontal, find the center of the ladder and lift it up. You can rest it on your work belt while performing this. Take special caution to ensure the back of the ladder does not hit anything. With the ladder laying horizontal, each person can take a heavier ladder at either end and pick it up together. The vertical body carry. This is a highly stable carry but has limited mobility and vision. With your dominant arm, squat down a few inches and grasp the ladder rung on the base section. Support the ladder on your shoulder of that dominant arm while grasping the rung or rail with your other hand roughly at face level. Lift the ladder up, keeping your dominant arm straight and supporting the weight of the ladder with your chest. Your non-dominant hand is used to stabilize the ladder. Look up to ensure that you don't hit the top of the ladder on any overhanging branches or power lines. The vertical extended arm carry is used for higher levels of mobility, but is less stable. Squat down, extend your dominant arm up and grasp the base section of the ladder rung above your head. Grasp the base section ladder rung with your non-dominant hand just below your torso. Lift the ladder up. The weight of the ladder should be supported by your dominant arm, while your non-dominant arm balances the ladder.
Chemical use. Before chemicals are introduced into the workplace, special considerations must be made. Training, handling, storage, transportation, health hazards, and emergency measures are just a few. Choosing the right chemical to use on the surface you're cleaning is critical. An education of the following is required before any chemicals are used. 1. The type of foreign material or residue being removed. 2. The reaction the chemical may have with the material. 3. The composition of the surface that the material is being removed from. 4. The effect the chemical may have on the person. 5. The effect the chemical may have on the environment. The MSDS label will give you information on all of those. MSDS is Material Safety Data Sheet. They will tell you, at a minimum, the uses, hazards, handling instructions, as well as other important information. The identity of the chemical, including other chemicals if there are more than one, the name and address of the manufacturer, the chemical's physical hazards, some labels including storage and handling instructions, basic protective equipment, and procedures that should be used when working with the chemical.
If you have any questions about anything to do with your safety, ask a crew leader.
Hey, am I doing this right?
No, man. You gotta turn it around.
Ah.
Good job.
Thanks.